to accept data from the user, we are using cin function. Yes guys, because we have done with different programs, basic programs, and in that I have given yesterday I have given some tasks. So in that many of the students just accepting numbers at initial level when you are going to declare that particular variable. But I will just show you one simple example, so how you can accept that number from user. So you can accept any numbers from the user. So here, this is a simple example. I'm going to show you the addition. So for that particular purpose, we require two different numbers. Okay, and one more is the addition to store the result. Yes, what is the message for user? Enter how many numbers? Enter two
Two
numbers.
numbers.
Okay, two numbers, and after that we are using this cin function to accept that number from user. So this is the syntax: cin a and then b. So in this manner we are going to accept two numbers from the user on console. So next we are going to perform the addition. This is the normal way. Add is equal to a plus b, and then we are going to display result. So what is that result? Again, we are using one more cout addition of two numbers, addition of two numbers, and that is add. Okay, so once I will execute this code here. Now guys, just look at this on your console. Now your compiler has compiled this particular line, and compiler is in this phase. He is accepting, or he is in waiting state from the user. So once user is going to enter something on that particular window, 10 and 20. So once user is going to enter, so this one is the addition of two numbers, 30. So guys, is clear about the cin function, how you are going to accept data from user. Because in the previous example, or whatever the task which I have given to you, in that case, just for your purpose, just try to accept data from user. If you are done with static data, don't worry. For your purpose, just try to accept that data by using that cin function. Okay, so let us move towards next one. Okay, suppose I want to calculate the factorial two different numbers. Yes, what is the logic, guys? Before that, yes, how we are going to perform the factorial? What is the formula? Yes, factorial. How you are going to calculate the factorial? I want to calculate the factorial of this 5. 5 factorial. So what is the expression, guys?
5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1.
Okay, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So means we are going to perform in this manner: 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So in case of programming, guys, listen carefully. In case of programming, just try to split that particular problem statement as simple as possible. Okay, so this is our task. Just try to calculate the factorial of given number. So here in this case, just try to identify what is the first of all formula. Okay, just try to find the formula. So, or just try to find out the logic. What is the logic to calculate the factorial? So this is the logic. Means we are going to multiply all these numbers, means 5, then again -1, 4, again -1, 3, -1, 2, again -1, 1, up to where? Up to 0. So just try to identify these numbers and then try to perform multiplication in this manner. Or another way is, another way how you are going to find out the for factorial is another way, in second manner: 1 into 3 into 4 into 5. Just try to check whether the last number is less than or equal to the given number. Okay, so here in this case, just try to increase that particular number from 1 to the given number. So this is the way in which we are going to calculate that factorial. Yes, guys, clear? Okay, I will show you two different ways for this particular factorial in incremental manner as well as in case of decremental manner. So first of all, let us start with first one, that is normal in incremental manner. Okay, this particular program is for factorial. So for that particular purpose, how many parameters are required? Yes, guys, can anyone? First of all, we require the factorial variable in which we are going to store that particular result. Yes, another one, we are going to accept any number from console. Okay, so that's why I am using one more variable, that is no. So how many numbers we are going to accept from user? Only one number. So that is the user message, enter any number. Yes. So in case of scene, how you are going to use that no? Scene no. So with the help of this particular line, you will get that particular number. So now let us move toward the actual logic for factorial. Okay, now we are performing the incremental. We are talking about the incremental order. Yes, incremental order. So which means we have to repeat that particular block. Okay, so that's why we are using loop, any other loop, that is for loop, while loop, or do while loop. Yes, guys, clear up to this? We have to multiply.
Yes, sir.
We have to multiply that particular. So here in this case, let's start with for loop. Okay, so for here in this case integer. What is the syntax for loop? Yes, can anyone? Shraddha Verma. Yes, what is the syntax for loop? For loop is basically divided into how many parts? Yes, Shraddha, Dhanasri Konde, roll number 6. For loop. Harshal. Shubham. So guys, unmute yourself and tell me. Yes, can anyone? Anyone?
3 parts: initialization, condition, and increment.
Okay.
Decrement also.
Okay, in case of decrement. Okay, first of all, let us start with increment order. So here, first of all, that is
Initialization.
Okay, so here we are going to initialize any variable
I is equal to
I is equal
1.
to 1. What will happen, guys, if suppose I'm going to consider I is equal to 0? It is possible?
Then multiplication will also come 0.
0. Okay, let us check first of all. If I will use I is equal to 0, then next I is less than or equal to
number.
whatever be the number which user is going to be enter, and then next one is the I plus plus. Yes, guys, clear with this for loop? All of you remaining guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, unmute yourself and then reply me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now, what is the logic for factorial? We are going to multiply.
Factorial is equal to factorial into I.
So we are going to multiply that particular variable, fact variable, with respect to that I value. So once we are going to iterate that particular for loop, so the value of I is going to increment one by one. So for first iteration, we will get as 0. For second one, we will get as 1. For next, we will get as a 2. So automatically, we will get all these numbers. So the basic step is that just try to multiply all these numbers with the factorial variable. So use that formula, fact is equal to fact into I. So this is the formula. And at last, after that for loop, just try to print factorial. Factorial. Okay. So I'm going to execute this code. So enter any number. So basically I'm going to enter the 5. Factorial is 0. Why 0? Because in case of for loop, initially the value for that I is 0. So whatever be the value which we are going to consider for next iteration, by default all these values are multiplied by 0. So you will get the result as 0. So instead of that, we are using it as a 1. So now check. Enter any number, that is 5. Again factorial is 0. Why guys? Yes, can anyone?
Fact variable is not
Fact
initialized.
by
Because when we are going to start with this particular example, we have just declared two different variables, fact and number. But for number, we are going to accept something from user. But what about the guys for fact variable? So your compiler or this particular compiler is going to consider any runtime value. So by default, he is going to consider it as a 0. Okay, instead of any garbage value. So better way, just try to initialize that fact variable to 1. So now just check. Now enter a number. So factorial for that 5 is 120. Yes guys, clear how we have done with this factorial?
Yes, sir.
Yes, all of you. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sankalp.
Yes, sir.
Sankalp, Saket. Yes.
Yes,
Sagat.
sir.
Okay. So here in this case, we have done with incremental order. Means initially we are going to consider I as a 1. Means 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Okay. So this is related with incremental. In the next section, I will show you with respect to decremental manner. So in case of decremental order, what is the first value? What will be the first value, guys? That is 5. If you are talking
I
about
is
the 5.
equal to n.
Okay, 5. So 5
n.
means NO minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. Yes. So how you are going to perform? Okay. Shall I use here while loop? If you are done with for loop, I will show you with the help of while loop. Yes, guys.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Because again we will cover two different iteration loops once more. So here in this case of while loop, while, what is the syntax for while, guys?
Sir, first we have to initialize.
Okay,
Before
before that, what is the syntax basic? Initialize, first of all initialization, then while, then condition and the block.
Increment inside the loop.
Increment or decrement,
Or
whatever.
decrement inside the
Okay,
loop.
so here in this case we are going to perform the decrement order. So in case of decrement, so we are going to
I
consider
is equal
that
to n.
NO. We are going to consider that NO. No issue about that NO. So what is the logic for while loop? We will discuss one by one. What is the first condition, guys? What is that first condition, guys?
I should be greater than 1. Greater than or equal to 1.
Instead of I, if I am going to consider it here, it as a NO. Is this possible? Yes, can anyone? NO, because we are going to accept that NO from user. Assume that NO is nothing but 5. So what is the condition, guys? First one, 5 is greater than or equal to 1. Condition is true or false? Yes, guys?
True.
Condition is true. Yes, clear about this. Condition is true. Then inside the while loop, what is the condition? Fact, we will do one thing. Instead of that, guys, 1 second. So in case of while loop, yes, if I'm going to consider that again fact variable. So what will happen, guys? 120 value will be considered. So instead of that, I'm using one more variable as a fact1 is equal to 1. Yes, guys, clear? Why I'm using one more variable fact1? Because
Yes, sir.
if I'm using that same variable fact, this particular fact variable inside the while loop, what will happen? 120 value will be considered the latest value, and that particular value again multiplied by next value. Okay, guys. So that's why I'm using the next variable as that is fact1. So what is the logic, guys? Fact1 is equal to what is that formula? Fact1 into number, because here in this case we are going to consider NO number. So what will be the value for this NO? Yes, what is the value of this NO if I am going to consider as a 5? So NO is nothing but 5. For next
5.
iteration, I want to
Number
decrement
minus
its
9.
value. So NO minus 1. Okay, NO minus. And at last, I am going to print this result. Cout factorial of number, that is fact1. Okay, I'll execute this code. Let us check, is there any error? This enter any number. I'm going to enter 5. Okay, this is related with output. Five and enter. Okay, guys, just look at the output. First factorial 120 is from for loop.
For
Yes,
loop.
guys, clear? First factorial 120 is from the for loop. Next one, factorial of number 120. This particular is from the while loop. And here in case of while loop, we are going to consider the NO directly, and we are going to decrement that NO by NO minus. Okay, so this NO minus is nothing but, yes, simplification format for NO minus means
NO is
NO
equal to NO
minus.
minus 1.
So this is nothing but the simplification, guys. NO minus is nothing but NO is equal to NO minus 1. Yes, guys, clear? And what about I plus plus? I plus plus is nothing but
I is equal
I
to
is
I plus
equal
1.
to I plus 1. Yes, guys, clear? I plus plus is nothing but I is equal to I plus 1, and NO minus is nothing but NO minus 1. Okay, decrement by 1 and increment by 1. If the variable is having plus means increment that value variable by plus 1, and minus means decrement that variable by 1. Yes, guys, clear? What is in by plus and minus?
Yes, sir.
All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yes, all of you done with this factorial? Yes, if you have any doubt, just ask me immediately, because now we are moving towards next point. Before that, is there any doubt related with any of the statement? Yes, anyone? Just ask me. Unmute yourself and then ask me. I'll give you 2 minutes. Just ask me if you have any question. So we clear out all these questions. Yes, guys. Don't shy. Yes, ask any question.
सर रिटर्न 0 नाही टाइप केलं तर काय होईल?
Doesn't matter. We'll execute. Okay, let us check here. I will comment out this return 0. Five and enter 120. It doesn't matter if you are using return 0 or you are avoiding that return 0. But the basic logic with respect to main function is that if we are using any data type, just like integer, float, double, in that case we have to return something. Okay, so this is the basic rule, guys. But if you don't want to return anything, then in that case just try to use just simple void, because void is nothing but it cannot accept anything from that particular function. Okay. Yes, guys. And main is nothing but the main function with respect to that particular program. Because if suppose there are n number of functions are there with respect to that particular program, then compiler is going to confuse from which function you want to start the actual execution. So by default, main is nothing but the first function from which your program is going to be start. Okay. So that's why this is called as main function. So for each and every programming language, there is a one main. So from that particular point, so main is nothing but the starting point or entry point for each and every program. Okay, guys, clear about what is meant by main function? Okay. Yes. Any other
Okay,
question?
sir.
Guys, one more. If you are using this online compiler, whatever you are just looking in your screen, onlinegb.db.com, if you are not providing any value with respect to that variable, so this particular compiler is going to consider 0. But if you are using this particular compiler, repl.it, so this particular compiler is going to consider the garbage value for that particular variable. Okay. It depend upon compiler, but most probably if you are not providing any value with respect to variable when you have declared that variable, so by default that particular compiler is going to consider the any garbage value which is available inside the memory. That is clear. So that's why if you are going to use any variable, so be careful about that. Just try to initialize that particular variable, otherwise don't use that particular variable. Yes, any other question? Guys, freely ask. Sankalp, I'm not audible clearly. Just can anyone just
plus and minus
okay. I will show you the basic simple example with respect to plus and minus. Okay. So here I will consider it as a void main. I have initialized one variable I is equal to 1, and I am using one more variable j is equal to 1 or j is equal to 5. Okay. So I want to increment the value for I. So high by 1. So what is the formula? I want to increment the value for I by 1. So what is the basic formula, guys? We are using I plus 1. Means what? We are going to increment that particular I variable by 1. Okay, guys, clear? But in case of simplification, instead of this, we are using I plus plus. Both are similar. Okay, I will show you. This is nothing but the value for I. And here again, in this case, I'm going to increment it by 1. Just look at the output, guys. Must return. What happened, guys, here? Yes, can anyone just tell me what is mean by what is that error? Yes, guys. What will happen here if and that particular plus is available at both side work? Yes. Okay, I will suppose I will comment out this code, and I am just talking about this particular single I. I will remove this particular I, and I am going to run this code. What is the expected output, guys? Is normal 1. Clear, guys?
1.
Is this visible? Yes, visible 1.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So inside that cout, if suppose I am using this I plus means what? Means what? We are going to increment that I variable, okay, by 1. but plus plus is available at postfix location, guys. So first of all, this your cout is going to first of all print that variable, and then he is going to increment that value. So once I will execute this code, so he will display it as a 1. But suppose in the next line, again I am going to print one more I. So what will be the value for that I? So here in this case, it will display as a 2. Why, guys? Because we have incremented that I in first cout, but it reflect inside the second one. Yes, can anyone just tell me why this happen?
Because it is incremented afterwards. First it is get stored in that value, I value, and before that one is there in the I. So first one is printed, then the increment is stored, and when we write second cout, that is printed.
Okay, means when we are going to perform the I plus plus, that is mean why we are going to we are using the postfix notation. So postfix means what? That operation or operator is available to the right hand side. So first of all, the left hand side is going to be executed. So in this case, first cout, first of all, I is going to be printed, and then after that you are going to perform the plus plus operation. Means after printing, you are going to increment that variable. Yes, guys, clear? Why it will happen, or why that particular variable is incremented after the first printing. So instead of this, if suppose I am using plus plus before the printing, plus plus I means prefix. So what will happen, guys? Here in this case,
2, 3.
2 3, no, it will directly display 2 2, because plus plus I means what? Here in this case, initially that I is incremented. So here in this case, you will get as a 2, and inside the second one, similarly, you will get as a 2. You got the difference, guys? Plus plus I and I plus plus. What will happen here in this case? If you are using I plus plus, what is the output? That is 1. He is going to print first of all 1 and then increment. He is performing the increment. But in case of plus plus I, what is happening, guys? First of all, he is going to increment that value, and then he is going to print it to 2. Yes, clear? I plus plus and plus plus I. Yes, guys, clear with this? What is meant by plus plus I and I plus plus?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Who, sir?
Okay, and similar way, if I am using here 5 and I am using okay, I'll comment out this code, and I am using minus minus instead of plus plus. Similar way, minus minus means just decrement by 1. So first of all, he's going to perform the decrement, and then he's going to display that result. So that's why the output is going to show 4 4. And if suppose instead of this minus minus, I am going to use minus minus afterward, means in case of postfix. So what will happen? First of all 5 and then 4. Why 5 and 4? Because first of all, this particular cout is going to print that I variable as a 5, and then he is going to perform that operation minus minus. So for next I, it will get as a 4. Yes, guys, you got the difference? How plus plus I and I plus plus works, or minus minus and I minus minus works. Yes, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so I will again share this code. You just go through this. Okay, till point. Is there any doubt, guys? If you have any doubt, just ask me. Okay, no doubt. Okay, let us move towards next one.